Hello, hello. We're on YouTube Live right now. Um, this is kind of a huge day because I've been wanting to get this video out for so long, and I just couldn't, really find the time, right time. But I wanted to explain album two to all of you. So I felt like it. I feel like doing a couple more lives where I explain relapse and night sky and all that, but right now we're just gonna focus on elevation. I'm gonna reveal to you demos that didn't make it, but we'll see. Um, yeah, I'll just wait for people to come in, see if they do. One of my favorite bands, Citizen Soldier, just posted something. If Jake pops in, I will fucking lose it. There's this one guy that said he'll try to make it every time I do a live, so maybe he'll pop in. Maybe I won't be so lonely anymore either. No one yet. Feel the rawness. The rawness. Yeah, this for anyone who watches this back, this album is very raw. Like, sure it has those heavy riffs and like stuff like that, but it also is like um my voice is not as um studio like, it's more raw. I feel like the next album is gonna take on that. I'm excited for album three though. I hope all you are too. Um so let's wait for people to come in. The Coca-Cola. Um I'm gonna get this started. If anyone pops in, they will. They eventually have to. Um, no one was there for me. I freeze up, let go, can't do this one day more. I just need up. I don't have any friends. Yeah. Um. So the first track on Elevation which I wrote 15, 20 songs for this album, I believe. Um, but the first one is Outsider, and that one is basically about autism, and it comes from two different perspectives. It's about autism and just basically self-doubt with yourself. I feel like this is just a message, like a great message about um, how people feel like when they have this just this disease in general, and they make you feel like you're a disease, but you're not, and you having autism is just a basically disorder that people go through now. Um, Maybe offensive if I said disorder, but yes, autism is not a disease; it's a disorder, and I'm not saying like that's how I feel about it. Right now, um, but basically, this song it's in the hook. It's let's see if I can find the lyrics here again because I kind of forgot about this song. I haven't listened to it in a long time. Throughout the past, nothing good ever lasts. The bullets keep coming fast. My mind's a meteor blast. So harassed, I'm an outcast, the outsider. Um, this one I wrote with In Pieces, James Webster. I've worked with him so many times. I did the Relapse EP with him, wrote other songs from him with Blackout and stuff. But we were sitting there. I was sitting on topics to do with him, and I was like, why not we make a song? And he's like, why don't we make a song about autism? Because I struggle with autism. And I'm like, okay. And basically, in the first verse, we were thinking, how can we start this? And I was like, you feel like a disease. You wish you could breathe. I came up with those lines. I was like, you feel like a disease. You wish you could breathe. To me, that's like, I feel like a disease because people do. And I just wish I fit it in. You know what I mean? And then James is like, well, living in a world underneath, here's our lives beneath, and never feeling complete. I'm like, oh my god, like that's awesome. Like that's such a good first verse in my opinion. And when you hear this song, it's really like a ballad rock song. Um, and then I said, everyone says it's this disorder. You tore it open and saw it was torture because people keep saying it's a disorder. And people may think it's not right, but like but I just felt like that could be relatable to someone. And then you tore it open, you saw the truth, you saw the lies of the people. You'll be left to see all the horror because it's like, well, now I'm starting to figure out who these people really are. And then James came up with the second verse, and the bridge is just I gotta give props to James on the bridge because it's one of my favorite bridges on the record. My mind and my brain is the battlefield. My heart forever shield. Concrete lies never sealed. Untreated bruises never healed. A life of torment always concealed. Thought it was fake, but now it's real. You left because of the pain. Like, cause it's like when you have this, you're in a battlefield. You want the heart to be like, you don't want anyone to get to you. The lies that people tell, they're not hidden anymore. And those bruises are never healed. They're never treated correctly, right? The life of torment, the things that I went through. Um, Thought it was fake. Now it's real because, you're starting to figure out the lies and that the person left because of the pain I went through. It's just such a good bridge. And I didn't feel like there was a second part of the bridge. We wrote a wrong bridge for this song originally, and that part the other part didn't fit in, so it became the outro of this song. And it goes, "The waves are surrounding being shamed. Let me explain the monster you made. There's no need for me to change, because inside we all believe the same." And I was just like, wow. Like, this song is something special. And I felt like it was just one of those songs that was a great way to open this record. It's a great way to have it as a first single, to just let people know on the inside what was going on. I love that one. That one's very powerful. And cool thing about this song is that, if I can find it, Outsider, because I'm a huge Stephen King fan. That's where I got the title from. I was fucking thinking of titles for an album, and I just came across this one, and I have this book here, and that's where I got it from. This is Elevation. There's a lot of controversy with this book, but that's where I got the name from. In this book, I got the name from this book. So I thought that was pretty cool, how I got the name from this book. And there was the name Outsider came from, I have a book from him. I think it was called The Outsider. Like, the original title of this song was called The Outsider, but then the second title came with "the." So I was like, I'll just call it Outsider. And then I realized Free Days Grace had a song called "I Am an Outsider." So that was pretty cool. I remembered that. I forgot about at the time. So that one's special. It's powerful in its own ways. That one's really cool. The next song on this record is "The Veil," which I was talking about. That one is powerful because I wrote that with my friend Philip, who's helped me on the Supernova, who I wrote Low Life with. I wrote Strife with them. I wrote The Veil with them, and then there's another one on this next record I wrote with them. But we wrote The Veil together, and I remember this song. Like, I was like thinking, well, what can this be about that I haven't wrote before? Why not I write a song about depression? Right. So I was thinking this is what it's going to be about. So I was like, I came up with the intro of the song. It was like, all the things I never said. I can't forget what's in my head. I hear the heroes calling, adding to my regret as I lay in this hospital bed. Making that reference to C.S.'s hospital bed, this song, like, hear the heroes calling, because I was listening to Smash Into Pieces at the time. I just thought, like, just whole, like, and then Philip was like, thinking he's like haunted by the memories that won't fade away, right? I'm like, okay. He's like, there's no clear. So he basically came up with the first verse. The first verse was all him. Haunted by the memories that won't fade away. There's no clear path for the day. The deathbed's where I lay. This is where I must stay when everything turns to gray. The veil's where I have to remain. And that was like going to be the pre-chorus. And then the chorus is going to be completely different from that. It wasn't going to say the veil, and it was just going to be. But then I realized it would be way cooler to have it in the pre-chorus and in the chorus. So I was like, how can I get into the mindset of someone who goes through this depression, like this hurt? And like, I was thinking to myself, lost hope in the cross, because I know a lot of religious people are out there, and I'm one myself, but in those moments we feel like we don't have hope in God anymore, like there's no right, even a cross, and I just, I'm in a false reality. Pull the veil away from myself. I was like, oh my God, like, this is like so relatable, and I feel like so many people are going to relate to this. And this was the one that blew up the most on TikTok. When I teased it and was teasing it, it got like 30 likes. It had like 20 5 comments at some point. Like this song just completely blew up. Like like on YouTube the most. Like I got mean comments, but YouTube the most. It completely just blew up. So that one's actually really good. I love the bridge in this one too. It's like pull the veil away from yourself, check on your vital health when you're in this doubt. Going back to Ghost Town, you know, the anxiety kind of kicks in with the depression. Can't live without my love. Where there's no way out. And then that's a song on this album, No Way Out, tying in. I thought that was just such a cool song. It's the most underrated song. It's probably my second favorite off this album, easily. It's so like good that like, you know. I love the next one. I love the next one though. That one is just so fun. This one was just so fun to write with James. We were sitting on a video call, and we were like, okay, what can the song we can write about be about? And we were thinking of topics and different things of stuff I haven't even touched on based on, and there is a song on this record that didn't make it called I think it was kind of like there's a song that didn't make it on this record called I look for my notes. Wait. Oh right. Burning Bridges. That was the name I was thinking of. Burning Bridges. That didn't make the album. That one was about agnosticism. And I teased that one. That one seems to be blowing up pretty good. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with it. But that was originally gonna take its spot. Escape like Burning Bridges was gonna originally take Escape's spot. But when me and In Pieces were writing this song and crafting it, we thought of the idea of speech impediment because we both stutter and have hard time speaking words. I thought that would be such a cool concept for a song. So he actually came up with I think it was me who came up with the first verse. I was like, these words too hard to speak. I'm always becoming weak. Help is harder to seek. These days feel like the killing weeks. The battle that creeps on minefield, my soul is concealed. My mind's in corruption. The wrath of hell is beyond me. And I was just like, it's such a cool way to just open a song. You know, like for someone who has speech impediment, it's a way to open the viewer into the mind of somebody like that. Like these words too hard to speak. I'm always becoming weak because I feel weak. Like saying these words, it makes me feel weak. Help is harder to seek. Like I'm having trouble finding them. It's just the battle that creeps my minefield. Like, you know, it's like I'm struggling with these words. It's creeping up on me. Days feel like the killing weeks. Like I just thought that was such a cool way to open this song. And me and In Pieces came up with the chorus. We were like, escape. The things I say are always wrong. Escape. Like the original chorus is going to be escape. The things I say are always wrong. I've got to be strong. Don't feel like I belong. This is the dying song. And that was going to be like it just said it once, and that was going to be it. It was actually From Embers to Ashes who gave me the idea to say escape over again in the middle, like escape. The things I say are always wrong. Escape. And he gave me the idea to hold it out, and I did that. It's a really good course. It's one of my favorite courses I've ever written with James, too. What I'm thinking about From Members to Ashes is that he actually helped me with the lyric video for Outsider. He was the one that chose that video for it, and he said that looks pretty cool. Use that. And I'm like, okay, so I did. Um, yeah, he came up with verse 2, and then I love the bridge. We came up with the bridge one by one. It's one of my favorite bridges I've created, probably. Want to dig my grave, pass me a shovel, light the torch, pull the plug, the hole's been dug. Now that we're done, my heart's an army of one. Going back to Undone. It's like, yeah, that bridge is just so cool because of the back and forth we do in that song. That one's just awesome. But yeah, that one's cool. But that one's about speech impediment. That was an awesome one to write with in pieces, though. I fucking love that one. It's so underrated. This next one, I've been talking for so like so fast. I gotta take deep breaths. Did I write it on here? Yeah. Okay. The next one is Overload, track 4. It's not necessarily a concept record, but I guess the order of the songs I wrote them in. This one was about insomnia, which I think I wrote with in pieces. I can't. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. The monster. So this one was about insomnia. We were trying to figure out how can we write a song about insomnia, because this song didn't make Blackout. This was a demo off of Blackout, and I had the chorus hook for the chorus. I can't sleep, overload. Not one person, overload inside of me, overload. I need to live again. Like that was the hook. I had the hook. I got it. And he was the one that came up with the first verse. The monsters in my brains are keeping me awake. Am I being paid for my final mistake? I want to take it right to the grave. That was Overload originally. How it was spread out and like that. That was so cool. That one was awesome. I remember this one having an instrumental breakdown, and then I added a bridge to it because I didn't feel like that fit the song like how it was, and just like that in the sense of like I didn't feel like that hit the song. Like they didn't hit the spot for me, you know. So I came up with the bridge, and it was tangled in these patterns. My mind's completely shattered. I can't even keep my eyes open long enough to see how I'm broken. This isn't the life I've chosen. Flooded in these emotions. Time's completely frozen. How am I ever going to sleep when I feel 6 feet deep? And I thought it'd be such a cool idea for the song to like 6 feet deep and just ride into the first chorus, because I've never done that in a song before, and that was really experimental in my opinion. And I do it in the upcoming. I'm in the session of writing album 4 now. Which there's one song on album 4 that I really like called "Her." That one's really emotional. But I feel like a lot of people are gonna relate to it because that's probably the most honest side you'll get from me. But yeah, that one's good. The next one is "Seize the Pain," which if you're curious, that one's going to be coming out of the record on the 25th in a month. So I had this demo just laying around since Supernova was coming out. This one didn't make Supernova. And originally it was not going to be about postpartum depression. This one was just going to be about my depression, what I went through. But I felt like this song had such a good reputation for what it offered that I had to redo it. I had the first verse, I had the pre-chorus, I had the chorus, I had it all done. It was a ballad. I I can't remember the second verse at all, but we rewrote it to Postpartum Depression. And this song is like fucking hell long. Like, it's hell of a long song. It's probably the second longest song in this record, following No Way Out as being the longest song on this record. It was so cool how this one came back as well. And I was just like, this has such a good, like, so we wrote verse 2. And it just turned out to be a really good song. The bridge is awesome too. We wanted to rewrite that bridge for so long now. But the chorus is, every day it's like I'm living in my dreams. I hope it's all in my brain. Will it ever change? It feels like I'm going more insane. That's Seize the Pain. And then pain, 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 seize the pain. I see Seize the Pain a lot in this song. And a lot of people are going to be mad at me for that. But I felt like it's what fit the song, in my opinion, and made it like so much better. Like, it's one of those songs that people are going to lay to. CS is like, why are there songs more about postpartum depression? I was like, why don't I carry on that legacy and light it out? I'll reveal verse 2. Because you haven't heard it. It goes, life is just a game surrounding me in shame. Questioning who's to blame. Raising a child isn't the same. Questioning if I should have woken up today. Was it your dad leaving or my personal shame that makes me feel like I felt like a mother? Or will you be better off of another? And me and In Pieces brought this one back. He listened to this demo, I believe I had, just sitting around. And he's like, this one needs to come back. And we rewrote that. I'm not going to reveal the bridge, but I'm looking at the lyrics now, and I'm like, oh man, this bridge is so powerful. It's insane. Like, that bridge is insane in that song. So there's that one. My favorite, probably my third favorite off this album, is Paradox. It's so fun. This one's just so fun. It originally was going to be a collab with someone named MJ, but that didn't happen. It got stopped and guy ditched me. So I was like, fuck it. I just make the song myself. And originally this song had those lighter screams, but I worked on my screams more, and they've improved. Like, you'll hear it throughout the album Freak, how much they've improved. And then I wanted to write a song about argument trauma that I wrote by myself. This happens rarely, where I just sit there and want to write a song by myself because I'm bored, and I'm like, I gotta write something that comes from the heart. And this was one of them. And the song is about argument trauma, something I lived for so long. And I had to get help for it. And the song's just talking about that and how I felt in those moments of people yelling, raising their voice, getting mad. It's one of it's so heavy. Like, the song is like very progressively heavy, but it's just so cool. Like, the song itself is just so cool. It was the first single off this album. And I was so happy for it to be the third single off this album. But the song is basically, you can hear it now. It's out. All the screaming, it's so overwhelming. Am I dreaming? This life is meaning. It's so concerning when I'm in this battleground. It's always on rewind. It's stuck on repeat. It won't leave my head when the clock is already dead. Referring to another song on this record. It makes me wanna hide. I'm on the other side, right? Weight on my shoulders makes me want to cry. Wish it could stop. Wish it could stop. Someone save me from this paradox. And then the reason why I titled it Paradox is because this trauma, this argument feels like a loop in my head, and I just want someone to help me with it. I have no clue what that person gave off because he said he was finishing it and wrapping it up, and he never. But the thing I came up with was the clocks are ticking down, in the sea where I drowned, underwater in this ghost town, not going to give up my crown. And then the breakdown. I love how this song has like a chorus breakdown going into the actual breakdown. Like, to me, that is just so fucking cool. And it's like, make it stop, I'm going to drop. The pain's everlasting, I can't take it anymore, make it stop, Sidus Paradox. I believe that James is doing a drum cover soon of this song. If I'm not wrong, he's doing a drum cover soon of this song. So that's going to be really, really awesome. The next one, most recent one that came out, the last single, because I feel like this was the best way to take this out. Me and Pieces, like me and James wrote a lot on this record. He was the source behind this record, so I want to say thank you for that. Down Syndrome, that's what the song's about. It's called No Way Out. This is the longest song on the record. I remember writing this and trying to figure out how am I going to make this the longest song on this fucking record. Like, how am I going to do it? So he basically just came up. He was just spitballing, and he came up with "It's out of control. Feels like I'm on parole because of something I can't let go. 6 feet below. People come after me, but they don't see how I can really be." And then I came up with the chorus. You can say all these things about me. I'll live my life rent free. Follow your hatred, and you will see the monster you made me to be, but there's no way out. Came up with the pre-chorus. He came up with the second verse. I believe I came up with the bridge. It's I'm so exhausted. My mind's distorted. I'm forever haunted when you make me feel unwanted just because I have this disease. Going back to the fact of autism, Down syndrome. Go on your knees and pray to the Lord of Lies, which is such a Tristan Mountain lyric. I love that, just making that reference in that song. It's very long. It's heavy. It's like 3 songs in one. But that one I really loved making. That one was just awesome to make. I believe the next, yes, Dark Shift is the next one. That one's also coming out with the album. This one is one about reactive attachment disorder, kind of like the Y for Workers. Easily the most instrumentally heavy one on the record. It's very like, like, you hear it. It doesn't scream, surprisingly, because I got worn out from the screams from Time Collapse. But this one is just so heavy instrumentally. I think a lot of people are gonna love it. I don't think I wrote this one within Pieces. I might have to ask him again. But the chorus is, how do I cope with reality? Everything just needs to be happy. Why am I in so much agony? I need to think of new strategies. Dark Shift. And this one was actually a demo that didn't make Supernova that came on this album as well. Because you're not going to get revealed verse 2, unless we'll reveal it right here. It goes, why am I this way? when I'm trapped inside this cage. Gotta make it through the day. My emotions are enraged. Lay your landmines and strike your grenades is the second verse. I love the bridge because you'll hear the drum fills like the like it's so cool, and the last line of it was so relatable. Um, it goes, why is it so hard to know that I was always treated like I'm 6 feet below? There's another half. That's the ending half. I don't want to reveal too much about the bridge of this, but so cool. Another thing that's cool about this song I thought was that it has a last chorus, but it's so different. The last chorus is lyrically different. It's cool how it kind of has that switch. And that's just so awesome. This one's very heavy though, like very very heavy. Um, the next one, easily my favorite off this album. Um, that I'm talking about here, easily my favorite is Time Collapse. If I can ever find the lyrics. There. This one is about Manic Syndrome, which was going to be another collab, but it didn't happen. Time Collapse had two collabs planned, didn't happen. So I just said, why don't I do it by myself? This one's about Manic Syndrome. Basically, if no one knows what Manic Syndrome is, it's basically you have mania episodes. You can't remember what you did, but you feel these emotions. Wrote this one by myself. This one's really good. Why am I so happy when I'm not supposed to be? My energy's through the roof, and I feel so invincible. It's a rapid time collapse. That was such a good hook. It's so catchy. It's heavy. I love the breakdown in this song too. Um, it's so excessive because you're acting obsessive. Try to not relapse. Everybody makes me feel like the ashes. Um, to me, the song is so underrated. I wish it got like much more love. This whole album is so underrated, in my opinion. And I feel like this is one of the songs that need more love with Paradox, The Veil, like those good ones. You know, that one. Oh, there was one on this record that didn't make it called "Dying" that I teased, and that one is coming in the future. I'm gonna spoil it. I'm doing an acoustic record the next few years, and that's the last track on it. Um, so I did revive it, but it's not coming out for a long time. I'll just say that right now. Um, that's what I'm thinking for the acoustic record. Just put Dying. Whatever else is gonna come with it, I have no idea. But that's the plan I have for it right now. Another one that didn't make it was Waiting, but that one came on the Phoenix B sides. Me and In Pieces both love that song. I had it on my radar for so long. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was in the air, and he pitched the idea to put it on his B side. So we said, let's do it. We collabed on it. He loved that song. That one's about overcoming narcissism. Similar to one that didn't make album free. Well, we'll get to there. The next song on the record is Clockwork. Yeah, there's a lot of clock references in this one. This one is my favorite. It's so different because this one's about claustrophobia. I think I wrote this one by myself. Um, the chorus is, we still got another hour until it drops. Make this anxiety stop. Make it stop. when it comes crashing down on me, will it tick down just like clockwork? A lot of people feel like that. In these moments. The cool thing about this song though is that this doesn't have a second chorus, and instead, after the pre-chorus, it just drops into this disgusting, grotesque, like it's insane how heavy it gets at that part, and then it jumps into the third chorus, and then I do the longest scream on this song. I think it was like 15, 17 seconds. It's really heavy at the end though. The second verse is, it keeps getting smaller. Am I blind to the colors? People around me stare and laugh, but they don't understand what it feels like to be cut in half. To me, that's how people feel like when they're in claustrophobia, um, in those moments of having it and like feeling it and going through it. And, like for a lot of people, I believe that's how a lot of people just fucking feel. You know what I mean? So that one's fun. That one's really cool, in my opinion. That one comes out with the album. Experimental, different. I think From Embers to Ashes will be proud of that scream. The most debated one on this record that didn't I did not want this song to make the record. I made it. James loved it, and he said, "Let's put it on the record because we wrote it together." But I was so like afraid of putting this on the record. Originally, the cool thing about this was that Time Collapse and then Manus Messiah was going to be it, but then I switched it around because of the days, like October, that fit with the whole theme of it. Originally, what was going to replace Manus Messiah was a song called, hold on. I think it was 17 or 18 I wrote for this record, actually. Probably wrote, yeah, I'll say 17 to 18. Maybe 18. Right, because that made, yeah, okay. Yeah, this had 18. Dying, Waiting, um, World War III, Vice Grip, and Burning Bridges did not make this album. Didn't make it. So that was 17 I wrote. Vice Grip and World War III are on album 3. Um, but originally what was going to replace Manus Messiah was Vice Grip. Because I had that, and I was like, but then it had the same kind of vibe as Time Collapse, so I took it off. And then I was thinking World War III was going to be on there, but that didn't fit the theme of that album. So I was like, nope. So I just said, okay, Manus Messiah. So yes, I did reveal 2 song titles off of album 3, and also Wasted Worlds is on album 3. So there's that. But Manus Messiah is about the mind of a serial killer. It's very dark. It's probably the darkest song I've ever written, especially with In Pieces. There's another one that I wrote that's very dark that I don't feel like saying on here because I might get criticism for it. I wrote it for the acoustic record, but it didn't make it. So it's called Chances. I'll say that. But yeah, this one's about the mind of a serial killer. I love In Pieces' writing with this one. So the first verse is, "What will my next move be? When I put on my history, I'll learn from the best, Jeffrey and Ted." Because it's like, and then I just came up with the "just like a Casey, what up, bro?" Just like a, I had like those lighter screams in Supernova. So I just kept it like that because, you know, and in my mind's so twisted to the point of torture. I enjoy watching people suffer. I don't care about my mother and father. It's just so dark. I like the bridge. It's more of a bridge than a breakdown, but it does scream. It goes chewing, and the blood keeps spewing. When I hide the body, dopamine is rushing. I gotta be on my A game when I whip with your legs like the Sharks in 1916. Don't get thrown in between when I throw you in the machine. That one's very dark. No, it's out. Just very dark because it fit with the Halloween, and I was like, I gotta release this on Halloween because it just fits the theme so well. So I did that. That's fucking dope. Yeah, I released Wasted Worlds. Wasted Worlds is another one that didn't make this record. That was the 18th one, right? And then it made album free. So Free made album free off Elevation. I mean, off the album free. Free made album free off of Elevation. The final track on this album is called Final Judgment, which this one's about addiction that I wrote with In Pieces too. And kind of just came up with the wolf in sheep's clothing has a fear and loathing of taking this fix and going to the light. Like you've heard it. You're living in this land of make believe. You've underestimated me. I will kill you in my dreams. This is not what it seems. Consumed by the final judgment. The second verse is, "My brain is a cyborg, liar to be led by you. It's so true that when everyone else is gone, I'll still have you. You're trying to fill me with the labels, so someone save me from my angels." And I thought that was cool because it's like, "Someone save me from my angels." Like the way I sing that part is just dope. It's cool. Has lighter screams in it. I'm not gonna say the bridge, but it's very progressively heavy instrumentally. It probably has the best two lines to end the bridge. It's just cool, and then the outro is Overload and the Elevation, bringing it back to Overload and Elevation. But the bridge, this is the song that announces the title of this album. It's in the outro of this song. And the bridge is so like, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, I kind of want to reveal it, but I don't want to because it's the last record. I mean, it's the last song on the record. It's okay. I'll give you this part of it because it's one of my favorite lyrics I came up with. I feel like if people wanted me to tease something, it'd be this. "I just want to overdose until I go into a coma. I just want to overdose." I'll say that again. "I just want to overdose until I go into a comatose." That's the last part of the bridge. I love that line so much. It's one of my favorites. So 18, I wrote 18 for this record. Um, Picked the 12 best out of it. I loved Wasted Worlds. I had to throw it up as a single. I thought that would be a cool surprise. The rest, Free made album free. That was Vice Grip, War Free, and Wasted Worlds. Those were the three that made album free. Reason why Wasted Worlds is on there is because I had 20 songs written for this next record. 20 songs. And the other ones I never felt fond of. Like, the other ones had similar vibes to other songs, had similar meanings. So I picked Wasted Worlds because the title of this album which I'm not going to reveal yet, would just fit with that the concept. So I thought that was cool. The first song on the record is Vice Grip, and that one's very heavy. It's heavy like vocally, it's heavy instrumentally. It has a fucking cool ass breakdown in it. And World War Free is one that I teased. I teased the pre-chorus. You get the first verse soon. Teasing is gonna start in March probably for that, and the album will be probably like the album will pop art and stuff like that will probably be released next month. I want to do it next month instead of doing it after the teasers, or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, yeah, but Vice Grip is the first single. I'm gonna say that right now off a record free, album free. Vice Grip's the first single. It's the first track. That one is about the fear of failure. But yeah, that one's gonna be really, really cool. I was so happy that Waiting came back. Dying's coming back, but not for like a long, long time. Like next 3 years, probably you won't get it. Like looking at the track list right now for album free. Track 2 is really enough. This one, okay. Album free is metal. It's purely a metal album. There's a couple rock songs, but it's purely a metal album. You know, there's one on here. I almost revealed. I did not want to reveal that name. There is 3 collabs on this next one. There confirmed 3 collabs. One with In Pieces, which you'll get with every album. One with Jackal the Floth, which is going to be dope as hell. I'm so excited for that one. And our third collab with From Embers to Ashes is going to be on there. And that's going to be a dope song. That's very Star Setty. And there's one on this record I'm going to say for album free that's really like, that made me really emotional making was Fractured. The song's called Fractured, which I'll reveal because I like that one so much. I had to reveal it. It's called Fractured. It's such a cool title, in my opinion, because that one is about my depression, the story I go through. You'll hear it in that one. It's heavy, the vocally heavy. It's one of those songs where you hear every emotion start to come out. And cool, very exciting news other than that is there's a song that didn't make album free that is coming out very soon. It's coming out on February 10th. No, the third. It's coming out on the third, I believe. I think the third. Yeah, the teaser's tomorrow. Oh my god, yeah. The first teaser of it is tomorrow. So yeah, that one's coming out on the third. Then 3 weeks you'll get um Elevation. The 4 tracks: Seize the Pain, Dark Shift, Clockwork, Final Judgment. That one, the one I'm talking about that didn't make the album free is about hallucinations. That one was a cool concept that In Pieces gave me. There's another one on this record about hallucinations as well. And I like both so much that I felt like Kill Your Nightmares was more experimental. That's why I put it on here. But for the other one, Sleepwalker, which it's called. So I revealed 5 titles off of the next album. I don't want to reveal anymore. Vice Grip, World War Free, Wasted Worlds, Fractured, and Kill Your Nightmares. I'll give you. Kill Your Nightmares is very experimental. It has those lighter screams from like Blackout, Supernova, stuff like that. That one's experimental. It's about hallucinations. And Sleepwalker is the new title for the one coming out February 3rd, and the first teaser's tomorrow. So that is going to be fucking cool. I cannot wait to start teasing Sleepwalker. That one's very heavy. It's very, vocally heavy, like a lot of my stuff is. It's screamy. It has a good hook. It's cool. It's awesome. It's going to get an official visualizer, too. It has a cool thumbnail. The text is green, if you're curious, and the thumbnail is purple. The thing is that the reason why we're going for the reason why I'm going for Sleepwalker first is because that one is that one ends off with ends off at the breakdown, and I didn't feel like that would fit the record due to the fact of like I didn't feel like to just end it off, and I felt like having two songs about hallucinations. Like, why would I release that one? But so I feel like if that one comes out first and then Kill Your Nightmares, they're like 2-part songs, and they go together. I'll say that right now. Sleepwalker and then Kill Your Nightmares, they go together. I'll say. So those ones are going to be really good. I can't wait to reveal the track list, the album art cover name. This was originally going to be 11 tracks. Just going to say that right now. And it ended up becoming 15 tracks. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Can't wait. My favorite song on the record, I'm not going to say the title of. I'm not going to give any lyrics. I haven't gave away any lyrics for these new songs. You'll know Sleepwalker when it comes. Fraction, I don't want to give away. I don't want to give away Kill Your Nightmares. But Sleepwalker, you'll know very soon. Like, the 28th will be the first teaser of it, actually. You'll actually hear the first verse leading up to the first chorus. And, yeah. Tomorrow will be the If You Know, You Know. And then it's going to be Sleepwalker. So if you've watched this, and you did, and you watched it all the way through, and you got to the end, I want to say thank you so much for listening to this track by track, explaining Elevation, how it was made, the title, how the title, like basically everything, how some of the song titles were made, just all of it. Like, it's cool. I gave you some album free intel. It's awesome. It's just awesome. So I hope you're excited for it. I know no one joined this live, which I was hoping for someone to, genuinely. But, I'm still going to keep this up here. I'm going to keep it up so people can watch it and comment on it and whatever. And that one is fun. Yep, album free is going to be good. You're going to get a demo off of it soon. So, yeah. Tomorrow for the If You Know, You Know, go to the comments below. I mean it. Go to the comments below and type in Sleepwalker. Just spam the word Sleepwalker on TikTok and YouTube, because these are the two platforms I use. TikTok, YouTube. Anybody who watches this stuff, go on my TikTok, go to my link tree. I'll post it in the description for you to go to, and go spam the Sleepwalker on the If You Know, You Know when it comes out tomorrow. Spam it. Go on it forever. Everywhere. It's out everywhere. It will be out everywhere soon. The If You Know, You Know, spam Sleepwalker. Want to see that? That would be really cool. And another thing I'm excited for is I'm going to be interviewing Jake for album 8 because he just announced it. I'm excited about it. It's called Family Heirlooms concept record. So that's coming. So I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Oh, I've talked a lot. I need a breath. It's not funny. It's not.